and welcome to a special segment of Out to Lunch. My name is Dean Delaley, Dino, and I know you saw the Dino's Night Out, but it's not going to be a Dino's Night Out. We're going to be talking about something very important today, Out to Lunch. My friends again. I always have friends on the radio, which is great. And we're going to be talking about the Knights of Columbus. Knights of Columbus do so many great things. A lot of you know I've been involved with them for so many years. But today we're going to be talking about a 125th anniversary of what is the fourth degree. And I'm not going to spoil nothing here. I'm going to introduce our guests right away. I want to make the best use of our time over here today. But today we have some great folks with us. And we're going to go right now. There's our panel. Over here, first gentleman, just to my left, that's Ed Sheff. He's what is called a worthy marshal. And we'll talk about what that is in just a little bit. Then we have a Ty Simmons, who's in the middle, and that's the district master. And he's the district master for Northern Illinois. Again, further description to come. And then Robert Pellegrini. He is with the Assembly. He's a faithful navigator of 3044. He's a deputy Grand Knight for Council 12005. And he also serves as a sentinel on the Joliet chapter. Now, that's a lot of spots. That's a lot of spots to have. And, these are all different positions, and they all have their place. So first I'd like to do is I'm going to open everybody's mic, and we're going to welcome everybody onto the radio station.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And that's Ty.
Hi, I'm actually Robert Dino Pellegrini.
What did I call you?
You call Robert Pellegrini.
Oh,
My
no.
middle name is Dino.
Well, that's okay. That's even better yet. And then Ed Sheff.
Hi, Dino. How you doing?
All right, Ed. Great to see you. Great to have you on. But I wanted to start out, if I could, with Ty Simmons, who is the district master of Northern Illinois. You can see by his picture, that's what he looks like in uniform. It's quite a position. And a uniform is really nothing new to Ty. He was formerly with the state police, as well as the military he served. But tell us a little about your position and, what it is you actually do.
Well, I was honored to have been appointed the district master by the Supreme Assembly, Supreme Council in Connecticut that controls everybody, and also blessed by the Vice Supreme Master of this area, in which we're lucky in that he's in Illinois. But the Northern Illinois district that I represent makes up 3 dioceses in Northern Illinois, that being Rockford, Joliet, and the Archdiocese of Chicago. I have 26 assemblies. I'll talk a little bit more about the assemblies, but that represents about 6,600 Sir Knights in the Northern Illinois district. We're also part of the Marquette province on a different level that is made up of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and us in Illinois. That's who we belong to, the Marquette province. In Illinois, the 3 dioceses I already mentioned, each diocese has assemblies. I have 26 assemblies. There's 12 in Chicago, 6 in Joliet, and 8 in Rockford. And all those assemblies, they all do pretty much the same thing. We all start off as a brother knight in councils. We all have to be a member of a council before we can be in an assembly. We have to be a member as a 3rd degree in a council. And on my brothers to my right and left, these gentlemen were all in councils. We've all held positions in the councils. And then we move up to an assembly. You're allowed to go to an assembly, which is the 4th degree. Each level of the knights, from the 1st to the 4th, represents one of our principles. The first one is charity, which is the first principle of our order, followed by unity, and then fraternity. And as a 4th degree Sir Knight, we represent patriotism. So those are the 4 pillars, if you would, or the principles of our organization, and that's throughout the world. We're currently in over 15 countries around the world, and of course, a large representation here in Illinois as well. So Illinois has two districts, north and south. We have, like I said, it's about 6,600 Sir Knights. Southern Illinois has about 4,000. So we represent almost 10 to 11,000 Sir Knights in Illinois. In the entire province is about 20,000. So
I didn't realize there was that many fourth degree members. So we're over 10,000 in the state of Illinois.
yeah, but that's only a third of the. We have 68,000 Brother Knights in Illinois.
That I know, correct.
Yeah, but so the fourth degree, of course, is just about a third of all the knights. Most brothers don't become, for many different reasons, don't become Sir Knights. And of course, we're the uniform guys, as you recall. We're the ones that everybody recognizes when they say the knights with the plumes, which are the chapeaus and the capes, and those were removed from us about 4 years ago, and now we wear the uniform that we're all wearing. So that's a quick rundown, and who we are as Sir Knights. And
No, that's a great description. I mean, a lot of people don't understand what it means, and I see you have several ribbons on your left side of your jacket, and you're also wearing the medallion. So the medallion you have, does that represent the district
the office,
master?
that represents my office.
Very good.
And as my brothers will be wearing the medallion of their office, or the ribbon, as it's called. And these are just different offices. I believe we all have the same, I believe. Each office you go up is leadership. In councils, you have a grand knight.
Right.
In an assembly, you have a faithful navigator, and then you can move up to a master's position.
Excellent.
And each of them have a different ribbon.
No, it's Knights of Columbus. I've always said my best friends have come from the Knights of Columbus. As far as, what we do is we do charity. That's all we do is we do charity. And it's a labor of love, because there's a lot of times we'll be doing a pasta dinner, or we're doing some other type of fundraiser. We do intellectual disabilities, the drives that we have. But you look at the guys, whenever I go to the different councils, even assemblies, everyone's laughing, joking, smiling. So it's not a drudgery, And Knights of Columbus welcomes really all faiths, as far as being a member, and if you want to be a true member of the Knights of Columbus, there's certain requirements that are a part of that. But we are welcoming to any faith, anybody whatsoever who wants to be a part of what we do.
Right. They can certainly do the same events, but to be a knight, you have to be a Catholic.
Exactly.
It's actually a Catholic family fraternal organization.
Correct.
That's really what the Knights of Columbus are throughout the world.
Well, very
Over
good.
about 2.1 million knights in the world currently.
Worldwide, yeah.
Yep.
And you said, we're in 15 different countries.
Yeah, the Philippines. Where we just
Spain.
Ukraine.
Ukraine
Just
as well.
started in newest was Ukraine. When of course a large number in Poland, because John Paul II was a big supporter of the Knights.
Yes.
He actually called the Knights the strong right arm of the church. That's who he referred to, and we'd like to think the same thing.
Excellent.
And of course, like everybody else, we went through the period of COVID that kind of tend to stall us a little bit.
It put a little damper. I was the Grand Knight for my council.
Yeah.
11981 Holy Family.
Yeah.
I had it 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
And that typically doesn't happen.
right.
And there was a lot of challenges. In fact, we had a couple radio shows right here when we were still trying to raise the funds, because the need doesn't go away. Homelessness doesn't go away. People with needs, special needs, we do Special Olympics, all the different various charities, they don't stop because there's a dilemma in the world.
Exactly.
So we were
Matter of fact, it
creative and got
increases.
different ones. Right, exactly.
increases.
Sure it does. Well, that's great. I'd like to now, if I can, we're going to shift over to Ed Sheff. And Ed is a worthy marshal. So, Ed, tell us what a worthy marshal is, if you would.
Well, the worthy marshal is appointed by the master, which happens to be Ty in this circumstance. He's reappointed me. I was marshal for two other masters, Gary Daly and also Alex Tennant. And our job basically is to help the master. And what we do is we oversee and help him to make sure things are going well in the assemblies. We direct the honor guards when there's multiple assemblies in a in a parade or in a church service, then usually the marshal will take over and direct, okay, we want you to do this, we want you to do that. And I'll tell you, I belong to the Knights of Columbus now after 50 years. My dad got me in way back when. After seeing all these years, I mean, I have a passion for the Knights of Columbus. It's about doing good, for God and for country. The fourth degree focuses on patriotism, okay? And who better to deserve our help but all the people in service and the veterans? I mean,
The veterans are the one that have given us everything, freedom of
exactly. So, I mean,
prayer, assembly. They've given us all our rights. If not for the veterans, where would we be, guys?
I agree. So why not do our best to try and help them in whatever manner we can? And that's what's important to me.
Excellent. Well, and you definitely exemplify what
Thank you.
a marshal is. I've been on different details with you, and you definitely show up and show out.
Thank you.
Which is what this is. One of the things is the honor guard, so folks understand what the honor guard is. It's for not only our fallen members, but different, other individuals who have served and done things with the Knights of Columbus. And it's our way to show our appreciation for what that person did. They're not all veterans. I'm not a veteran. I was with the fire service and law enforcement, but I felt the need to be a part of the honor guard and the Knights of Columbus because it's my faith. And what better way, to honor the folks by way of the fourth degree and the honor guard, and exactly what it is. If you can't be a military individual, support the military.
Absolutely.
And that's how we always say it. But we're going to move right on now to Robert Dino Pellegrini.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about you, Robert. I know you've got a lot more titles, so I don't know. Are you trying to get this top job or what's up?
Well, I've been involved with Knights a long time. I've got involved back before Our Lady Mercy was built. We used to be in a high school auditorium. And when we had our church dedication, I had just made my third degree and I couldn't be a Sir Knight. So I was frustrated. So the following year, I became a Sir Knight as soon as I could. I was involved in honor guards. That was back in the regalia days. And I've been serving as the council captain for quite a few years. So now I'm moved up the ladder, again, in my council, which is very active. We've been supporting a lot of things from our council, like our Parish Life Center. We used to have a annual Carnival Mercy Fest, and now we're doing a lot of things to support our seminarians, support our high school students for scholarships, and also, so we're very involved. In my, our assembly, we have 14 councils, and there are some very active councils. They're very talented councils, and each of our navigators has a different skill set. We're not clones of each other. So I like to pride myself of being a little bit like Marshall Ed, that I'm very organized, and I've made a lot of things. I would like to think improvements as far as communication, keeping track of how many people have honor guards. I'm very proud of the fact that we instituted a uniform purchase program, so we're helping defray the cost of buying the uniform. I'm very happy to say we have about 81 Sir Knights with uniforms right now. So we're doing very good and supporting a lot of honor guards. For us, we like to partake in parades. Confirmations are very important, and other functions. So for us, it's that whole visibility, getting out there and letting people see, we're the fourth degree.
Yeah.
That's very important.
And again, I say it. I know, Ty, were you honor guard with the police department for state police?
No, I wasn't.
When I was on the fire department, I was the honor guard, and that's why I say the police department, I did it. And when the uniform prior to this one had that big plume, that's why I joined, to be real honest. I mean, I knew about Knights of Columbus, and my good friend Joe Ferlita says, well, come on, Dean, join. I said, well, all right, fine. So it's been a little over 20 years I've been a member. And nothing gives you a more feeling of pride than wearing the uniform. Exactly. And no matter what the uniform, what we wear really is not what it's about. It's what we represent.
It's not hard.
Right. And I had a hard time in the beginning making a transition because it's like, wow, man, that thing was really cool. You got that cape. And it's not about the sword. You guys can keep the sword. But I just love that big plume on the hat we wore. And, it did. It really resonated that. And I'm saying this for the brother knights that are listening, because I know we do have quite a few that have tuned in. And if you want to call in, you have any questions, and that goes for anybody, our lines are always open at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. As everybody is aware, this is being streamed on the YouTube Live as well. We are on the AM dial, AM 1410. But I just want to make sure I got that across. You know, guys, if you can, you know, I don't like it, just get over it. No, it's not a matter of just get over it. I understand. If anybody understood about wearing that uniform, and mine's ordered now. They just sent me the wrong size. Yeah, I got a size like 65. I don't want big, but not that big. So they said, look, let's get the new one. And I will wear this new uniform as proud as I wore the other.
Amen.
Because, right? I mean, it's not about, you know, me standing up there. It's about what we represent. So I just wanted to say that.
You know, I'm
I know that's important.
75, Dino.
You never know it.
I've always been in a uniform.
Yeah.
I
Well,
started in the military.
likewise.
I started in the military at 18.
There you
Served for 36 years in the military. I was also in the state police for 28 in the uniform, and now I'm in the Knights. And actually, you talked about the regalia. That's really what attracted me to become a Knight.
Yeah, right?
I always really wanted to be in the Knights because of that. I liked the regalia, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I struggled a little bit when we lost it, but I'm more than happy now that we're back to a uniform because I realized finally it's not really about what we wear. It's about what we believe in. And
What we represent,
Exactly.
what's behind it all.
Exactly.
But I just want to make sure everybody were comfortable with that. So, you know, one of the reasons we have everybody here today, we want to talk about a real important event, and I'm going to shift over, since he happens to be the chairman, Robert Dino Pellegrini. It's going to be the 125th anniversary of the exemplifications. And we've already explained the exemplification is when you come from the assembly side, and then you go into being, you know, representing as a, you know, the patriotic portion, which is the Sir Knight, and you become a Sir Knight at that point. So you want to tell us what's going on and when that event? I understand it's March the 1st.
March 1st, we're going to be at the Jacob Henry Estate in Joliet.
And what a place.
Oh, it's beautiful. There's a chapel attached to it, so we're going to have both the exemplification of patriotism, we call it. We're going to have a banquet there, and afterwards we're going to have a mass. So we're very excited about that. And we have we just finished our second planning meeting, and we have a lot of plans and still a lot of things to do. And I'm very proud of the team and how people are coming together to make this happen. So this is very special because there's actually Joliet Diocese, we have one per year, but Master Ty, there's two others per year. So he's kept busy year-round.
And how cool is this that your assembly, 3044, Bishop Blanchett, is that how you say it?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, you get to do the 125th year. Our assembly, 2330, we're going to be doing it in June, but it's not the 125th.
Yeah, and the date is February 22nd is the actual date. And the Supreme Council,
Oh, for the anniversary.
for the
Yes, I got you.
anniversary, the Supreme Council will be celebrating that in New York City
Oh, great.
on
Okay.
February 22nd. They currently have over 700 Sir Knights candidates to join,
Wow.
and over 1,200 will be in attendance. So it's a pretty big deal for us.
I know
as
we were
Knights.
working on getting 125. How we doing on that, Robert? We doing pretty good? We coming close?
I think we're doing pretty good. I'm expecting to get a lot more Form 4s on Wednesday in our assembly meeting, and our other major assemblies will be meeting too. I already have a few more, and I think we're going to be going down to the wire. So I'm hoping for the best. I would like to see about 150.
What do you think about that, Ed?
I think it's great, but I think one other thing needs to be pointed out, and that is this is a very historic time because for the first time in the Knights of Columbus fourth degree history, families will be invited. It's never happened before, and this is the first time. And I mean, that's
Good point.
to me, that's historic, and it's
Yes, it is.
important, an important point too.
Yeah. You know, what everybody with the transparency, Knights of Columbus always had for those, again, that don't know that are listening, you know, it was like, I don't want to call it, yeah, it was secrecy, you know, and that was part of the ritual. Rituals are ingrained in so many long standing organizations. It's just how it was. Nobody ever felt the need to change it. But the idea of being all inclusive and all welcoming, which is what the Knights of Columbus are, and we represent, why wouldn't a ceremony, right, Ed?
That's right.
I mean, this is what we stand for. I've always said this. I don't get it. The assembly is okay with it, but now the fourth degree isn't. What's going on here? But they did it, and I know, Ty, you were instrumental. You had made a lot of calls and comments about that. I think it's wonderful. There's so much that the Knights really represent and stand for. Great organization. I'm glad that I got with them. But to go back to what we're here, we just want to make sure we get it in because we're going short to the bottom of the hour. The main event, if you would go back to it, if you would there.
I should
I would
mention,
appreciate it. We'd tell a little bit some more about it, Robert.
at the event, we're going to have both an honor guard and a color guard. And we're going to be training the next couple of weeks to make sure we're up to tie standards, which are really rough. I mean, but, the color guard, of course, we have the flags and the parade. And, last year I was helping out as a parade marshal in the Aurora Parade. I was really happy to see the color guard with tie. And more importantly, he had the Santa Maria behind him. So that's very impressive for the town of Aurora.
So if somebody wants to come to this event, how do they do it? Give us a website or somewhere that they could reach out to you, Robert, because you're the host, and it's coming up March the 1st.
Okay, well, the banquet itself, there's tickets for that. It's,
Okay.
Like for a night typically it's, $50 to come in. For a new candidate, it's about $90. And all the information is on our Bishop Blanchette website, where you would just Google Bishop Blanchette, you'd find that. And then also we have a hyperlink on our website, which takes you to Ty's website for Northern Illinois. So
And that Blanchette is, so you know, it's Bishop, BLANCHETTE, and that assembly number is 3044. But I'm telling you, this Jacob Henry Mansion, it's a place to see. There's going to be live entertainment. Those of you that tune into my show on Fridays, Vito Zotto is going to be the entertainment for the ladies. And because there's a portion where, we don't want to bore them with the whole ceremony. So we give them a little, leg room and breathing room, and they'll be entertained by Vito. So it's going to be something. I mean, the place, I was there for part of the planning on Saturday. Wasn't that our last meeting?
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, they got it going on together. Everybody's pitched in on this, all the different assemblies, the councils. I mean, it's great. I mean, they have
Yeah, we had over 32 or 33 in attendance, representing most of the assemblies, and so it's great.
Do you think we covered everything here, guys? How do you feel?
Yeah.
I feel pretty comfortable.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Take
So,
some questions.
We had some great guys. We do have a phone call. So it's that time. You want to stick around for a little bit some more after this break?
That's up to you.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Because I have a few more questions for
All right.
everybody. So listen, you are listening to WRMN 1410 right here in Elgin on 14 Douglas. We have with us the District Master of Northern Illinois, Ty Simmons, Ed Sheff, the worthy marshal, and Robert Dino Pellegrini. He's a faithful navigator with the Bishop, and I always mess up the name, Blanchette, which is 3044. So stay with us. We'll be back right after the break. You're listening to WRMN 1410.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan, brought to you by Sky Rizzi. Congratulations to Jay Wachtel. He was previously the interim principal and now has been appointed as the overall new principal of Naperville North High School. He has a long history at the school, having served in various roles since 2002. Western Welding Academy's Blue Collar Tour, aimed at sparking student interest in trades, visited Elgin High School recently. The tour, which will visit 32 schools in all in 60 days, highlights the importance of trades like welding, which is facing a national shortage. Elgin High School and School District U46 committing to offering trades training and exploring various post-secondary options for students. A South Elgin man with a history of child pornography convictions facing new charges for possessing and distributing explicit material involving minors. Christopher Ray McMullen, 45, arrested by the Kane County Sheriff's Office, charged with 8 counts of disseminating and possessing child pornography. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Are you looking for the perfect wedding planner? Or maybe you've always dreamed of hosting that unforgettable corporate event. At the Serendipity Collective, your dreams await. Located in the heart of Hampshire, Illinois, the Serendipity Collective specializes in both traditional and non-traditional weddings. They also offer event planning services for birthdays, bridal and baby showers, quinceañeras, corporate events, and more. From the moment you step into your attire for the first time, to the tears of joy during speeches and dances, they're sure to make you savor every moment of your special day. At the Serendipity Collective, they love what they do and are passionate about helping you create memories that'll last a lifetime. Visit Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., or evenings and weekends by appointment, or call at 847-749-7848, or email at info@theserendipitycollectivellc.com. The Serendipity Collective, your dream wedding awaits.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Heavy snow possible from Wednesday morning through late Wednesday night. Today, a slight chance of snow before noon, then a chance of snow showers. Mostly cloudy with a high near 28. Tonight, a chance of snow showers before midnight, then a slight chance of snow. Cloudy with a low around 20. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
And we are back from Out to Lunch. I think we're back. I hope we're back. I didn't hear the music in the background. So we are back. So, okay. Music wasn't cued. That's okay. I've made bigger mistakes than that. But listen, you're listening to WRMN 1410 AM. And we can also listen to us on the app. Tune in at WRMN 1410. If you have an iPhone, it works real easy. If you have one of those smart things that are at your house that's got that speaker playing, just say WRMN, and you'll start hearing us talking right now. So again, recapping, we're here with the Knights of Columbus, my brothers. We have Ty Simmons, District Master. We have, we also have Ed Sheff, Worthy Marshal, and then Robert Dino Pellegrini. And we left off telling about what was going on at the event. And the event is it's quite an event. It's the 125th anniversary we'll be celebrating, even though the actual date of the 125 years is February the 22nd. But we're going to celebrate it on March the 1st, and it's going to be at the, what's the name of the place that we're at?
Jacob Henry Estate.
That's it, Jacob Henry Estate. So I can't remember everything, guys. But listen, it's a great venue. I was there. You're going to love it. For those of you that are attending and are, privileged to actually get your fourth degree on the 125th anniversary, I think that's something. But Robert, tell us a little bit some more about the venue, about what's going to go on. We understand that it is the, when you go from being a council member to the assembly, That's what this is. It's a separate exemplification. Exemplification is just getting you into that fourth degree, which is our patriotic arm of the Knights of Columbus.
Correct.
So go ahead, Robert. Give us a little bit some more.
Remember, I gave you a pen.
I got all that.
It's got the date. It's got all that info
Yeah.
on there. Because I'm older too, and I need to remember these things.
And I got it marked down on a piece of paper right in front of me. You think I
right.
would have just looked down.
Okay.
So, that's
No,
what I
it's
tell
a
you.
great time.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed these when we've done them in the past. The new council members come there. They're excited. They're a little nervous. But we've always had some great masters. Some of our former great masters will be there, I'm proud to say. And, they get together. They're trained. Our honor guard gets ready. Our color guard's there. It's a very impressive ceremony. Probably one of the most impressive parts is when we bring out the patriotic portion, where we have a lot of military flags and music. So there's a lot of special things we do that I always look forward to, because it is the patriotic degree, and that's very important. And then, of course, it's always a good banquet. I mean, it's nice to get everyone together, have a good meal, but I'm especially looking forward to the Mass. This was something where our future exemplifications of patriotism are going to be involving churches. Well, we're blessed at Jacob Henry Estate that there's a chapel right there, and we're going to have a couple priests perform the Mass. Because after all, we're a Catholic organization.
Yes.
Of course we should have a Mass.
And why wouldn't you? And you know what? We have that phone caller, so let me get this queued up right here. You don't mind taking a call, do you guys? No. All right, here we go. And caller, go ahead. You're on WRMN.
Hello. I do have a question, is how or who started the Knights of Columbus? I mean, how did it come about?
Okay.
I'll get off the phone and listen to your answer. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that call. And that's Rita. Rita calls in pretty regular. Thank you for your call, Rita.
Okay.
And how about we're going to turn it over to, you want to answer that one time?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, thank you for the question, Rita. The Knights of Columbus started in 1882, and a priest actually started the Knights of Columbus, the blessed Michael McGivney. He's blessed because he's in line to be a saint. So someday our order of the Knights of Columbus will have a saint as the founder, just like St. Vincent de Paul organization. And I'm very proud to say I'm look forward to that day. So 1882, and the Knights were actually formed at the time in that century, 19th century, Catholics were actually being pushed aside, and it wasn't a good time for Catholics. A lot of Catholic men were killed, and so there were a lot of families that didn't have fathers. And Father McGivney at the time in Connecticut, he took it upon himself to start the Knights of Columbus in order to provide charitable service to the families, the widows, and their children. And that's really the start. 1882, the Knights of Columbus, and has continued to today.
And by him doing that, it kept the family unit
Exactly.
whole instead of, and back in those days,
Exactly.
they'd be sent to orphanages and the mothers.
And that's
would
why
get
we're
their children.
Catholics, because it was for Catholics who at the time, many Catholics were not really accepted.
Right. Excellent. Well, that was a perfect description. Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew the story, but who better to come from? And one other thing while we're still talking with you, Ty, great guy, Alex Tennant was the gentleman that you
Absolutely.
have taken his spot. Now, what is Alex going on to do?
Alex currently is going to be attempting to, provided he gets elected, which I don't see any reason why he won't, and that is the what's his office he's running for, guys? The warden. Of the state warden. So Alex has now moved up through the council, through the assembly, through the district, and he's going to the state level to be the next warden. He has to be elected, has to be, and I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be. So
He's always been
Alex
a gentleman to work
was
with.
my predecessor, who actually recommended me for this position. I was his marshal.
Okay.
I did what Ed does for me. I was his marshal, and he asked me, Ty, you ought to consider taking it. So I took the leap, but I always tell him I didn't know what I was getting into when I said yes.
We had some tough times with the COVID.
Yes.
And on the assembly level, I would even call Alex up. I'd say, hey, Alex,
Right.
how do I get through this?
Right.
Because if you couldn't get a hold of anybody, always stepped up and gave me
Very
the
a tough
answer.
time, and he did a great job.
What a guy.
Yeah.
Good man. All right, great. All right, Ed, what about you? Give us a few words. We know you're a worthy marshal. And Greg Billiskoff, he's a worthy marshal as you. Is that what his position?
That's correct. He's actually the district secretary as well.
Yeah, and what a guy he is.
He's a fantastic guy. You know, Ty has six marshals altogether, and we each have our own diocese that we take care of. And each diocese is a north marshal and a south marshal. And I happen to be the Joliet South Marshal. Mm-hmm. And all of us work together under the guidance of Ty, and we just try to do our best so we can meet Ty's standards, so to speak. Because I mean, you know, Ty, I can't underrate it because Ty just wants what's the best, and I want what's the best as well for you know not only for the order, but for God. That's who we do this for God and for country, like I said at the beginning. And I mean, I love the Knights of Columbus. And one of the bishops of the Joliet, Bishop Hicks, mentioned to us at one of the masses, he says, you know what it's like to be great? To be great is to share what you have with others. And I always remember those words, and who better to listen to than a bishop, right?
Right, yeah.
And we'd actually asked him to do the Mass for us on March 1st, but both him and the auxiliary, they both had other assignments.
Okay.
And they couldn't make it, unfortunately.
Yeah. We'll still get representation.
Well, we have our friar. We have the state friar.
There you go.
That's going to be doing the Mass for us. So we'll have several priests. We actually, right now, have about 4 priests that will be making the 4th degree on March 1st.
That's neat. Yeah, it's not an automatic. It's people think that if you're a priest, you're with the Knights of Columbus. And
No.
it's not so.
No, they have to. They still have to go through. They still have to be a 3rd degree before you become a 4th degree. Just everybody does it. So
That sounds great. Robert, did we miss anything on the event? We have everything covered?
I think you've covered the event very well.
Thank you.
So looking forward to it. Again, I'm looking forward to a good meal, some great hospitality, great brotherhood. And also, I can't overemphasize, you know, we're trying to also work with seminarians and priests. So we have a lot of seminarians. Some that we have are already 4th degree members. Our parish has been really good at Our Lady of Mercy having seminarians and deacons. So that's very important to get the young people involved.
Yep.
Excellent. So, brothers, those of you that are still at the assembly level and you're wondering, do I want to go, or the council level, do I want to become a, 4th degree? Do I want to do this? This is the time to do it. You're going to reach out and you're going to talk with Robert Dino Pellegrini, and he will definitely get you set up. But the event's coming right around the corner. Don't drag your heels. March the 1st at the Jacob Henry Mansion Estate. Got it right that time, right in front of me. All right, that's how it works here. And that's in Joliet, on Old Central Church, which is 15 South Richard. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, I want to thank you for the opportunity of having the Knights of Columbus on today. Really grateful that you would do that. I want to thank my brother, Sir Knights, that accompanied me today, Ed and Dino.
But you guys come from you got quite a trip here. So
I may be the master, but I couldn't be anything without these gentlemen and the other knights that surround me, that help prop me up. That's really what it's about. I may be at the top, maybe called the master, but I work for these guys and for our church and for our community. Yeah. That's what we're about.
And it's what we always profess around here. It's not me, it's we. Unity.
And I also push, right. And I also push for 3rd degree knights in the councils, the membership in the councils, because I can't take somebody off the street and make them a 4th degree knight. They all have to be a 3rd degree member of the state council before they can become a 4th degree knight in a district. So,
in the pillars of the organization are so simple. It's charity, unity, fraternity, and patriotism.
Amen.
And patriotism is what this is about, the 125th anniversary. So, folks, thank you for listening. You're listening to WRMN 1410. Some great guests from the Knights of Columbus, several different levels. We got the top guy, the district master, even come along with us, and you could see his humility. He views everybody as the same and as one. And that's what we are as Knights. We welcome each and every one of you. Be a part of everything that we do. If you're in, again, that council level, guys, I hope you're going to see this. Make that decision. Support our military, because that's what it's all about. Everyone, thank you very much. Gentlemen, brothers.
Thank you, Dino.
Can't thank you enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Dino. Appreciate it.
All right. WRMN 1410, we're going to give the show back to Matt. He let us storm in on his out to lunch. So we're going to go back to the regular programming after these short messages.